Today we're talking about a two-part exercise called calf and hamstring stretch. Now, there are lots of ways to stretch your calves and your hamstrings, and even in the Egoscue method in postural therapy, we have multiple exercises that achieve this. This specific version of the exercise is more of a beginner's version because you can do it lying down. All you need is a yoga strap or a belt, a gait belt, anything along those lines that you can use to hook around your feet and pull with your hands. The great thing about this exercise, besides it being one that you can do relatively with little effort while lying down, is that it will be eliminating compensations between one leg and the other and putting the muscles from the hips all the way down to the feet into a better balance. Okay, let's get into the proper form for the calf and hamstring stretch. In this one, we're going to start in what is called the hook lying position. That just means I've got my legs bent at 90 degrees, flat on the floor, and I'm going to move into the stretch from this part. You're going to need a strap, a yoga strap of some kind. I prefer these multi-loop straps because I can grab them at any point along the strap. Makes it a lot easier for this type of exercise. And this loop is already the perfect size for feet. So I'm going to loop it around my foot. And at first, for the calf stretch, I've got this around the kind of just under the ball of my foot. Maybe just a little bit behind the ball of my foot. And from here, I can really start pulling. And as you see, I've got the upper portion of my leg roughly in line with the leg on the other side. This should not be stretching the hamstring yet. This is a two-part exercise. In this part, we are only trying to stretch the calf, which is why we are keeping it down to where there's no stretch on the hamstring. And from here, we're just going to pull on that strap until we feel a nice stretch in the hamstring, in the calf and not the hamstring. And from there, we will be holding this for 30 seconds to a minute, depending on what's prescribed for your menu. And it's just that simple. Again, why I really like this strap here is because it works well for people with different leg lengths and different body lengths. And I can also choose how much of this work I want being done in my shoulders here or in my elbows. Gives me options if I have pain up there, whatever it might be. So that's a great way to do the calf stretch there. You're going to want to switch and do that same stretch with the calf on the other leg at that point. Don't do the calf, hamstring, do calf, calf, hamstring, hamstring. So I would hold this for the prescribed amount of time as well. Again, you can see how quick it is to get into this position once you're accustomed to this exercise. And then at that point, we would switch over to the hamstring stretch. For the hamstring stretch, you notice I've got this strap more around the arch of my foot approaching the heel. And that is to eliminate any stretch in the calf, because now we are going for that hamstring stretch. We're pulling that leg up. You want to go until you feel a nice stretch in the hamstring, but you don't want to go so far that you are pushing with your leg on the ground, or that it's pulling your hips up off the floor, because that'll start to cause some compensations rather than just getting that hamstring nice and stretched out. And again, you'll hold this for 30 seconds to 1 minute, and then you would go to the alternate side and do the same thing here. So you would put that foot all the way through, all the way back, approaching the heel. Let this foot go flat on the ground, and again, pulling back until we got a nice stretch in that hamstring. Holding for 30 seconds to 1 minute. And that's all there is to it for the calf and hamstring stretch, done in the way that we do it for the supine position in postural therapy. Again, this lying down position is just one of the ways that we can stretch calves and hamstrings in postural therapy, but it's also probably the easiest and most beginner friendly.